Greetings, I am Lies and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal and I use they, them.
And
let's play a game together!
Yay! Alright, we are back and we have either passed or not passed the test because we don't know.
And actually, really quick, because we're both idiots, before we start this...
Oh no, so we forgot to react to Draconesh's art after the last scene.
Because we were so friggin' disoriented. I'm sorry, that was me. Really going like, what the hell?
So if you've come here from the last episode, we haven't seen the premium cover-up art yet.
So we're going to look at it now.
Oh, nope.
Nope,
hang on.
Hang on.
Oh my god, there it is.
Ah!
Yes. See, it looked like a standing picture, solid.
Yes.
The words just said it was sitting. The sparkles are so cute.
Oh, they're honestly very good lighting.
Yeah, one of them, I am snarky, one of them, I love the lighting and the little, like, blue glow that they use, too. Super nice. That's so cute.
The teal, like, it's really cute.
It's really neat.
It's really nice back.
So if you haven't seen the last episode and somehow you're here, go appreciate the cover-up art on the premium scene there, and otherwise, I look at Asra, but he's already watching the magician's hands. They tap my cart, and it fades into the table.
Well, shit.
When any two beings become familiar enough, the line between them can seem to disappear.
Wait, just familiar enough? Are you saying this is that thing where if people hang out all the time so they know each other really well, they become one person? Where everyone goes, are you related or are you dating? I mean,
Are you siblings? Is that your mom? Is this your sister?
Are you really saying that it can be hard to tell apart two completely different people just because they know each other well? Or are you saying it in terms of yourself?
Okay, so one of the things I find to be very funny about that is that seems to be very common with people who literally do not know what it is like to have people who really get along with each other, who are around each other. And especially if they perceive them to be same gender, that is an even bigger fucking problem.
I have had a thing throughout my life where every best friend I have had, every single one, and there's been 4 total, and I'm serious about this is the one best friend that I have right now, as opposed to these are all my best friends in a literal sense of the best friend as in the closest most person that I am with that is a friend. Anyway, every single one of them, we've gotten so familiar with each other and hung out and had so much fun and been around each other so often that I've had people ask how we are related or decide how we are related, like bar none. Apparently I have had like 5 sisters throughout my life, according to the audience watching.
Yes.
And it's really funny because every time it happens, it's been new to the other person after it happened to me the first time. It was new to me, it wasn't new to me anymore. And someone's like, oh, are you sisters? And it's like, no.
I mean, I think we've talked about it before. People have literally accused Lies of being my mom.
Yep.
Like,
and one time, Scandal of being my mom.
Yes.
Once, notably.
Yes.
It was
But
really
it hasn't
funny.
happened much anymore because we wear masks.
It's just so good.
Fucking nice.
I think the one time that it happened that I was accused of being mom was I was coming in as an authority to decide something, so I had my managerial, like, Sona on.
Persona?
Yes.
My persona.
My manager Sona. This is Lies business variety.
I know.
Business filter. Anyway.
To connect with one of the Arcana on a personal level can awaken a wellspring of power.
Okay.
Okay. I tapped the thing, but it didn't go.
Years.
But if the connection is too deep, you run the risk of losing your individuality, becoming your archetype.
So you're not talking about anyone like you said you were. You're really talking about people in the Arcana, which is honestly the only thing you know.
Right, because all you care about the Arcana.
And also because you are never out in the actual world, because you can't literally go there, except for in connection to the people that are already like you, so you have no idea what it's like for people who are different from each other to connect to each other, so that's the only connection you know. Also, I will never get tired of watching their ears move.
I won't either.
Not even once.
The magician's ears are great fun.
They are the MVP. It is so fucking cute.
Wink, 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 wink.
Archetype.
Becoming your archetype.
Quick!
Lucio tried to become one of the Arcana, but he failed.
What? That's what Lucio did? My deal with the devil was I'd like to be you? Walks up to the devil. I've thrown these people that I do not own and have no sway over at your feet. I'd like to trade them to become you. Devil. What?
That
sounds super weird.
That's bonkers. That hasn't come up in 2 routes.
Yeah, 2 other routes, and that's never been mentioned once. That's
Not even
wild.
slightly. They didn't even allude to this.
Not that I have ever noticed. That is a huge chunk of plot, actually. Just casually dropped here. I had to be 3.5 or 2.5 routes in before I learned this?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what Lucio's been doing the whole time, is theoretically trying to become the devil? Or what he did do once and now he's trying to undo it, which is why he's trying to steal a different body? Because he failed, so he's in between and he knows he can't try to succeed, ? So he's trying to undo? Is that what's going on?
I don't know, because now I'm confused.
That's wild.
I'm also like, wouldn't Lucio talk about... Okay, I'm sorry. With how I've seen the way that he acts, I feel like his stupid-ass face would never be able to shut up about it.
He would just talk about the troubles and the trials and the difficulty that I've had.
Trying to be an Arcana. Like, what? That would be like a thing.
Nadia, you didn't help me try to
become an Arcana. Don't you understand that I could have done everything for you if I was an Arcana? Yeah, like, seriously?
And it failed because you didn't help me.
No. Naughty.
What?
He tried to become the devil? How?
Thank you, Asra. I'm as confused as you.
What? Why don't you ask him?
Is he here?
Motherfucker. Answer the question.
Oh, he doesn't do that.
Fuck this.
With a flick of the wrists, the magician sends my vision spinning for a third time, getting a little bit tired of him controlling my senses and deciding what it is I perceive.
Right.
Even Asra doesn't do this to me. I'm left trying to recall what I just saw. It threatens to slip away, as if I'm waking from a dream.
Is this specifically a characteristic of the magician? Or is this just the magician right now? Because we never had this problem when we met the magician before in the other routes, and the other Arcana we've never fucking had a problem with. Is he just being are they just being a fucking edgelord? I'm sorry, I keep saying he because I'm like, you're with Asra, and I'm used to Asra with he pronouns, so...
It's true.
It's true. It's disrespectful.
All right,
but
so
it's also a character
I am
at this point.
thinking that this is specifically something the magician has done to you, because every other time we've been involved with the astral realm, or the Arcana's realm, as it were, we've never had problem remembering or...
At least not that I recall.
Not that I either.
Yeah.
Echo in my mind, as I become aware of raindrops on my head and shoulders. Oh God, he's like, what did you ask him? Sends you back to the real world. Wow. My eyes flutter open. Asra is sitting in front of me, holding my hands, and Muriel is beside us, unmoving.
He stopped.
Irritated that he has still not been able to do the one thing he came up here for.
God damn it!
Because he had to watch your babysit you the whole time.
Right?
He must have finished his casting? You mean his random fidgeting with rocks while he waited for you guys to finish because he couldn't do what he came up here for? Because Asra told him to do something else?
Okay, so you're gonna have to forgive me. But you know what that reminds me of? He's gonna go do rune casting. Okay, do you remember the fucking TikToks where the Indians, the Native Americans, some of them will do TikToks and they're like, these white fucking people who just look at you and they go, oh, you're communing with the spirits. God, I wonder what the weather's like outside. Like, they just were making fun of going, like, you guys cannot basically stop hyper, like...
Romanticizing or mysticizing us.
Yes, and so, like, that's racism. That's
there's this one really good TikTok, like, there's several examples of it, but there's one with this, indigenous creator that is a lovely individual, and they're just sitting there, the whole thing is them sitting there drinking a cup of water, right?
Uh-huh.
And so they pick up the cup of water, and someone going, oh, look at them, being so spiritual, and they're like, okay, getting a drink. And they get a drink, and someone going, they are just cleansing their body with the water.
Uh-huh.
And them going,
they're going to a ritual.
That was a little cold. And they're like, oh, see, and then they are thinking deeply about how it connects to the earth and all of this kind of thing. And they look up going, oh shit, I forgot to go to the store. And they're like, and now they are speaking to their ancestors with their mind. It's like, dear God, please.
So the only thing I have here is because your character doesn't know what rune casting actually looks like, right? So I mean this generally for all of them, because they're not describing it all. They're just saying, like, he's fidgeting stones, right? That's what it looks like to you. But the thing is going, like, you don't know. In that reverse, it could be him actually doing stuff, but you have no idea. And also, he might have been asking his own goddamn questions, actually. He must have finished, because now in this case, suddenly our character doesn't know, even though they like to play Word of God and tell us absolutely what everybody was doing.
Additionally, going again, Muriel came up there to cast stones to ask a question.
His
to
own.
throw his runes to ask a question. When Asra got up there with us, he immediately told Muriel he was going to stand guard while we did our thing.
Asra, well, yeah, that's true.
I mean, there was some getting up there and sitting down and
Yeah,
recognizing the
I
area,
forgot about that. I was thinking about down in the thing. I'm like, oh yeah, that didn't happen. Asra's like, I'm gonna go with you. I have a question.
We have a question as well. And then as soon as he gets up there,
Muriel suddenly is like, I'm actually your escort. Like, he completely changed character suddenly. Like, he forgot what his motivation was for coming up the mountain. And it was like, oh yeah, I forgot about you. You guys are the main characters and the main love interests. And now I need to remember to put aside all of my personal experiences and the things that I desire in this world, and it's only about you.
Except it could also be interpreted that Muriel was about to do what he was going to do, and Asra just told you what Muriel was going to do, which was watch over you guys while you went into the Arcana realm, and Muriel acquiesced because how do you fight Asra?
Yes, which is also one of the things we mentioned before. Yep.
He must have finished his casting. We both watch as Asra's closed eyes twitch and slide open.
Amazing. His eyes weren't just fucking open.
We woke up before him.
Amazing. Did you get any answers?
Are you asking me? You're asking Muriel. Okay.
Shit. All right.
Did you?
Lucio, I tried to become the devil.
Are you surprised?
It's not even a question. Are you surprised?
Are you surprised? Statement. Period. I'm not surprised.
You are surprised. I guess not. I just want to know how.
Question. And interestingly, so I appreciate that they're like, I know Lucio is a goat spirit now, and both of them, I assume, understand that the devil looks somewhat goat-like, and so they're going, he made partial, transitional changes to himself in the direction of becoming an Arcana. But when someone says, I tried to do fill in the blank, it means I didn't succeed. So I could literally say, I tried to go to India. Oh my god, I want to know how he did that. I researched flight tickets online. I couldn't afford them. I was done. Right. It can be the tiniest possible thing. I tried to become the devil. Well, I read some books and it was hard. And so I cast some spells that I knew not. So I made somebody else cast spells for me, and that was boring. And so it just didn't work out.
And so I tried doing some deals, and then I was dumb because I didn't want to stick with it.
And then I just yelled in my room as angrily, and then nothing happened, you know? I mean, in this case, something obviously happened, but the idea of trying something, you could have done almost nothing. How did he try? Any possible way, dude.
Any number of ways.
The question is, does it matter how he tried or why he got close to succeeding? Or why he managed to morph himself at all?
So is this weird level of going but no, okay, so I feel like there's an unspoken idea here of going the Arcana are incredibly hard to access, which seems weird to me because they are so much a part of basically this life
and this story.
This game and this story and all of these characters. It seems weird that they wouldn't be actually being involved with the Arcana is considered to be incredibly fucking rare or strange. And no one has mentioned it. They just seem to be going off this assumption that somehow okay, so it was the problem. I hate fucking bringing this up because fuck J.K. Rowling. Okay, but the thing is in terms of the movies, right? Okay. So my friend has mentioned this before. In terms of the movies, there was a thing that happened with the people who only saw the movies, where they just thought that basically
Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, the Harry Potter movies. Yes. So when the audience that had only seen the movies watched the initial movies, they went, "Why is there such a big fucking deal about this? Everybody clearly knows about magic because they're just." Magic. There was no...
So basically, there was then a huge dissonance between people who had read the book and people who had only seen the first movie, where people were like, and the magic is such a secret. And everyone going in the movie going, I didn't get that impression at all. Magic is known to his aunt and uncle. It's known to all the adults you see there. Even the person on platform 9 3/4 who's a, quote, muggle doesn't seem fazed by the experience of, clearly they were running into this column while everyone could see. And so, yeah, the people who just saw the movie, there was... The directors and the people involved in writing the script for the movie... They were
so inundated.
Were so completely, cultured or indoctrinated into the idea of the fantasy world they were creating that they forgot to communicate a number of key points because it's something you just know. And in here, I feel like they're very much doing everyone just knows the Arcana are rare, and everyone that is a love interest is exceptional.
Right.
And so they are all involved with an Arcana at all, and... That isn't normal. It'd be really nice to have it clearly stated at some point of going, almost no one in the entire world knows the Arcana exist, period.
Right?
But around here, because I, Asra, live here and have spread it the fuck around where I needed it, it seems real common.
Well, because I collected solitaire and I made the deck, I brought all these people together inadvertently, so I created basically what seems like a huge culture of it, but is actually just
He's Spider-Dan.
Yes.
Okay, if you don't know the joke, I think it's Spider Dan. It might be Spider Frank or something.
I think it's Spider Dan.
Spider Dan. So anyways, at some point, someone posted a statistic saying that on average, people swallow like 22 spiders a year in their sleep. And the thing is that's not true at all. It's an inflated myth.
Yes.
And also, it's not realistic in any way.
Yes.
But someone on Tumblr,
jokingly,
in the brilliant way that they do, go, actually, the average that this happens is like 0.002%, and Spider Dan, who eats more than 50,000 a year, should not be counted.
Yes! It was so fucking funny.
So, statistics in that way. I think Asra has artificially inflated the statistical access to the Arcana and awareness of them by being specifically in an area where he's exposed people to it.
And the thing is in relation to the story itself, the perspective is quite literally written as you are so limited in terms of perspective. You are literally 3 years old and you've mostly only hung around Asra, and now you're only going to be basically doing things in reference to this itty-bitty teeny group, and you literally really don't see anyone else. Period.
It'd be nice if you were told about the bigger world outside of yourself.
Yes.
I don't like the sound. I don't like the sound of that.
Damn it.
All of the things we've just said, Muriel, agreed. Sounds terrible.
Fuck everything.
I point and glance at me, and Muriel rises, followed by Asra, who pulls me to my feet. I feel strangely energized.
Why did he pointedly look at you? I don't like the sound of that. I'm gonna glare at you. What is this pointed
You
look
were
even about?
talking, and Asra was talking. And now you look at me. I have said literally nothing.
Uh-huh. Unless it's, again, that thing of going, I hate that you're a hero.
Muriel magically knows that you were somehow involved with how Lucio tried to do this.
Oh.
But Asra doesn't? Or doesn't
because of the
admit to
fool's body thing. So he was trying to possibly basically take the fool's body.
Spoilers.
Anyway, we do those things. So we have massive spoilers here. If you don't know about this, please fucking close your earballs.
Basic idea. In reference to spoilers.
Which we both thought was very weird and a strange roundabout thing, and also apparently the Arcana have bodies?
This suggests that that Muriel knows that Lucio used you as part of his bid to try and become the devil, and Asra doesn't.
Yes.
That's what it suggests.
Seems weird.
Sign feels good right now. If we're fast, we might make it to the palace before it gets bad.
I mean, without the stars, I don't think it's going to get that bad. The clouds aren't too thick. Mm-hmm. Looks up at all the stars behind Asra. It's probably going to stay a light rain unless the clouds get denser.
Ready to go back? Go ahead.
I mean, I was ready before we hiked up this mountain, but we're going to have to hike down it, and I'm not very athletic, sir. I was born ready.
I guess.
I think. I see the palace's high towers on the stormy horizon in the dead of night.
And
I guess it's sunset and we've never passed any more time.
Sunrise, sunset, we cannot tell what time of day it is.
What time
what season follows these all others? Laden with frustration and tears.
Who knows how time works anyway?
Oh my god.
It travels differently in the Arcana. Well, it travels pretty weird out here, so you know what?
You know it is fine.
It's hard to tell. I see the palace's high towers on the stormy horizon, and I lead the way.
For some
book 10!
I guess it's because we're energized.
Hungry eyes. There's a song
I got my hungry eyes. Yum, hungry. Oh, no, fine.
Oh, look, a wheat field. The first light of dawn blazes gold off the palace towers when Asra and I arrive at the garden wall. We walked all night.
Yes.
We might get there before the storm breaks. We just spent 8 to 12 hours walking in the evening, in the dark, and through the dawn.
See what I mean, though? By everything is, like, inordinately either far away from itself or suddenly, like, you're like, I'm through the entire town in 3 minutes.
Yes. By the way, it was dawn when I started over here. And 19 events later, and after a great many trials, it's still dawn way the fuck over here.
Right?
Is it the next one? Nope, same one.
Nope, same one.
You did all of that in about 10 minutes.
Holy fuck.
6 chapters in 10 minutes. Good job, us.
Wow. Yeah! At the garden
In this case, I have to be like, good thing we were able to come here so fast. In about 8 to 10 hours, we really beat that storm.
We really did.
Like, good. I'm afraid it will break soon, though.
I'm also just like, okay, so you have a mountain weather.
The
Anyway, I'm having weather problems. It's okay.
Blazes gold off the palace towers when Asra arrive at the garden wall. So also
and you keep smooshing.
Sorry, and I arrive. This suggests again very strongly that you have the palace way up on a hill, and then you have all of your farmland and all of your agricultural miles and acres all around it. And then the city is in a ring or crescent below that.
Yep.
So there are acres and acres of distance between any city proper at all and the palace.
Do you know what I also think is super funny? So the way that it was described before, when we
way?
left the palace and we saw the goat,
Yes.
and we went into the forest, if it was like right there, and then suddenly we go into the forest, and it didn't take that fucking long to go to freaking Muriel's place, and then it took hours to go up the fucking mountain, but like the forest is like right there, next to the fucking palace.
Except for only some forest is there.
Yeah, but they
and there
didn't
could be many
specify that.
different forests. There's also a forest that starts in the palace
And
garden.
all the bugs are crawling on top of
There's a forest in the palace garden and a forest outside the palace garden and another forest past the fields and past the town, another forest out there.
I'm so tired.
But it's a coastal area, so they have lots of moisture, so there's many forests.
I know you could have that, but I'm also like, it's fine. Whatever.
I love how you never see the coast in all of this.
No.
We're always looking inland.
I know. I'm like, why wouldn't you look?
We are a port town, but you only
Always-
look inland unless you're on the tiny dock.
Yeah, that doesn't make any
Period.
sense to me at all. I'm like, I would be looking at the sea. That, because number one, it's really easy to orient yourself if you know northwest, east, and south by the sea.
Or you can also potentially look at the sea some if you're looking at the Morbid Island.
Yeah.
That's it. Garden wall. I keep close behind him.
Beside
Beside him. I assume at some point we lost Muriel, but I don't know. As he runs.
I lead the way, Muriel. Goodbye.
I am disappearing immediately.
Fuck you guys.
As he runs his hand through the vines that cling to the sheer stone.
Either that or Muriel's still here, because it never said specifically that Muriel left.
No.
So he's just a silent titan who's behind
He's been
you.
dragged along against his will.
You're still naked.
Asra.
Muriel.
And Muriel's still with you. As far as I can tell, we have never changed clothes or gone back to his hut to get our clothes.
Because Asra's still covered in the way that he is.
And we walked all the way here straight from the mountain, not stopping at Muriel's house unless it's specified later. So all Kohai is wearing is just a jacket, a long jacket, and a scarf. Nothing else. No undergarments, no anything else. I'm gonna keep pushing this because, again, Kohai's build is not going to allow Asra's thin, fitted coat to wrap all the way around themselves.
Because it doesn't even fit all the way around Asra.
He can't even, based on how it's tailored, pull it tight unless he works real hard at it. And it might then fit like below his chest and zip or button down. So, what you need to know is that you have a person standing there who the sides of their legs and their shoulders are covered by fabric, and there's a scarf draped around their chest, and you see probably cleavage on maybe the sides and the top and the bottom. And that the rest of them is nude and open to the wind in front of them.
Yep.
That is what Kohai has been wearing, with no shoes either.
I know!
For like
I'm like,
3 chapters
your footies!
Poor footies.
Alright, anyway.
So Kohai, again...
And now Muriel's fucking.
Again, I assume that nudity and or, again, lower nudity or partial dress is not a problem here.
Yes.
Now, in other parts of the culture, of like our historical culture around this modern, this world that we live in, as opposed to the Arcana, there are places where nudity of types that we would consider taboo here are not taboo at all. And historically in Rome, a lot of people went around like 95% naked. So,
Yeah.
it's a thing.
And sometimes you just have titty out.
A lot of places have titty out. And
Also, in a lot of places, you're just like, you know what I am? I'm wearing a fucking bed sheet. That was technology.
Most of the clothing around the world is giant-ass bed sheets, because why would you fucking cut your fabric? It's so hard to make.
Yeah.
It was like...
You're also not going to reuse
all of your
all these
togas?
itty-bitty tiny pieces.
All of your togas were giant squares. Your saris are giant
squares.
rectangles or squares. So many things in the Arab cultures. You just wrap a giant rectangle or square around you. The way
Arabs,
it comes
Israelis,
off
Saudis.
the loom. You all wear a cool ass dress called a robe.
Yes.
And you never cut your fabric, and it's versatile because it can fit 100 different people because it's a huge fucking square.
And also it does 100 different things for you. Oh my god.
Ah, sheer stone.
On it.
Oh, Faust is
And
back suddenly.
he's got his clothes back.
So
Are we
we're-
just completely naked?
So now we're completely naked. So Kohai is just wearing their gorgeous long hair.
Okay, at this point, I think the fact that he went and he put his clothing back on, that would mean you put your clothing
We
back
have to assume that we stopped by Muriel's place on the way back. If we hurry to the palace while going around and back to Muriel's house to get my clothes,
Yep.
then we can beat the storm to the palace.
Because also I think we left Faust there too.
Pretty sure, Faust was still
Faust
in Muriel's
was-
house. We can now intuit that we did in fact go back to Muriel's house, so we are wearing our clothes again.
Yes.
Done. Excellent. We're not nude anymore.
Yes. Because
Or-
also I don't see Faust going outside in the rain. Because also like incredibly lethargic snake.
3/4 nude.
Tired.
Yeah. I don't
I
remember.
found it!
Was there a point at which Faust... No, because Faust couldn't cover up in the scarf because we were wearing it, so we're good. Okay.
Yes, we're fine.
He takes hold of a knob in the wall, much like the secret garden, brushing back the vines with his other arm to reveal the rusty door underneath. I read that book. It was fascinating.
Book is so fucking weird.
And flashes me a look of disbelief when it opens without resistance.
When the thing is
Is
big.
not the garden wall supposed to be locked? And if you've ever read Deerskin, you'll really want the garden door to be locked.
Honestly, I love the fact, like, so if you ever read the book called Deerskin by Robin McKinley, it's an incredibly fucking dark book.
It's also very
But it's
beautiful.
also like it's fantastic. I fucking loved that book. It was great. But it also very much goes with the concept of if you're really going to say that this person is the most beautiful, most attractive, blah, blah, what does that actually do to people?
What does it mean? And it really leans into... She's really effective, in my mind, at examining when you use a fantastical level of absoluteness in your world, fairy tale style. What does that do in a real world experience? Who does that make the people? And if you're describing...
What does that make anyone else?
I was going to say, Deerskin is a retelling of an old Perrault tale, I believe, called Donkey Skin.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I was going to say, anyway, and Deerskin is a much more, in this way, realistic telling of it, of going... How would that affect the kingdom? Who would that make the people?
It's also incredibly mature. It does actually deal with some massive parental abuse. Like, whoa.
It deals with many, many dark themes.
Yes.
I would not be able to make a full warning list here.
Yes.
But there's a bunch of them in there. I freaking love the book. I read it as a teenager, and because of my exposure to things, it didn't really throw me off. It was just like, wow, that's intense. But to other people that have particular like sensitivities, especially to themes of like misuse of the female body or misuse of parental power or any kind of like reproductive choice, things like that, you may have some problems with it.
Yeah.
But definitely read your, warnings and such like that. But I totally recommend that book. If you like fantasy, if you like female protagonists, it's written at a reading level for like a teen reader. It's so good. But again, with caution.
Yes.
It's a dark fairy tale.
It really is. I genuinely enjoyed it. I'd never read it, but I have read Robin McKinley before. She actually did the Blue Sword series, which I really liked when I was a kid.
But I had you read Deerskin.
You did have me read Deerskin.
And you hadn't read it when you were
I'm just saying,
younger,
like,
but
I
then,
had, read the other one.
All
Anyway.
right. Opens without resistance.
Unlocked? This is a servant's door. It's always locked.
If you knew it would be locked, why did you even try it? If you believed absolutely it would be locked, why did you try it?
I was actually going to ask that question myself. Why are you so surprised? Because...
For me, when I expect a door to be locked, like
I don't
absolutely believe this is my front door, I locked it. I don't check to see if it's locked or not. I put the key in and I try to unlock it.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's fine. He tries the door first.
I see it's always locked. The gods must also be swapping shifts right now. Our luck is unusually good today.
So you're saying that normally this door, this secret hidden behind the vines servant entrance, is guarded by gods out here, which would be very suspicious.
That you didn't
Or potentially-
even potentially go, hey, we should come up here slowly.
Or potentially inside, which we haven't seen yet, so we don't know if they're there or not.
Also, okay, dumb, stupid fucking question.
Do it.
Why the hell are we fucking doing this to begin with? We could just go up to the front gates.
It's true. I don't know.
Especially considering the huge mess Asra caused last time.
Additionally-
Now, granted, that wasn't entirely his fault, but seems to be a running theme that I don't understand. But I'm like, considering what he did,
Additionally-
and you are also the palace magician that was hired, this is stupid.
I was going to say, additionally, we work here.
Yes.
And Nadia is expecting us back. Anyway, so why are we trying to sneak in?
This is dumb.
All right. Luck is good. Why are we sneaking in? We step inside. A shriek from above jolts us to attention, and I squint up into the light. I also assume Asra checked for guards at this point because he said there were no guards when he did not yet even open the gate. Perched on top of the wall is an opalescent owl. Its circular face a perfect reflection of the sun.
I would not think of it like that because I do not think of white as a
I was
perfect
gonna say,
reflection of like golden, bright yellow
I'm
light.
gonna say, is your sun here white or cream colored? Is your sun here have black spots in it? Does your sun have beautiful eyebrows? What does a perfect reflection of the sun mean? Is the owl's face creating
Are
a
you just
brilliant
saying-
beam of light?
Someone, is your owl's face perfectly round?
First of all,
Because
one-
also,
I got it.
barn owl faces are not.
So one, if it's perfectly round and it's pale like that, I would think it'd be more of a reflection of the moon than the sun.
Yes.
But two,
Because
let's
also-
just imagine the owl's face is like basically your artificial construct of just it is a spotlight.
Yes.
Like your absolute like tracing spotlight that creates a circle on the
Asra
ground.
Kohai hit the ground because they can no longer see.
The spotlight just overtakes you in the way that you're trying to track the criminals on the ground during the night with the helicopter lights.
Yeah, exactly. You're
then you're
getting
both
through. You're getting through the
blinded.
level. No, really. But I do genuinely mean this because right now I am actually deeply peeved. Why are we not going through the front fucking gate? Because of
Because
any
we're
number of
both
reasons.
welcome here, and one of us is expected explicitly. Also, what does it mean to be a perfect reflection of the sun?
I don't think-
That's a weird.
Chandra.
Though it is far up high above us, I see its eyes focus in on me as if they were a hair's breadth from my face. I can
Hilarious.
barely see this owl, but I can see how its eyes are focusing, which I assume is magical.
I guess we also have perfect vision.
It sees the very essence of my mind. I can tell because I guess I feel it absorbing that. Then the moment is gone, and it takes flight for the towers.
Well, it can take flight for the towers in the next one.
It can tell Nadia that we didn't use the front door in
for
the next
reasons,
one.
I guess, and so it's going to go to her meditation tower. I'm sure that Lucio
Or her workshop.
or her workshop. I don't even know. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos if you're having a good time. It actually helps a lot in regards to the YouTube algorithm. If you interact and share, it does a lot.
It
actually.
does so much.
Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi, Patreon, and our Twitch.
Woo!
There are still links in the description. We would still love to see you there.
Yep.
And I have been Scandal.
And please appreciate the beautiful mascara on this owl.
That owl is fabulous. I do like Chandra's colors.
Gorgeous.
They're very pretty. Also, again, though, I do find that to be funny because my friend's point of going, why would you not think of the moon? Because our association, without being contradicted by the game so far, is that owls are a nighttime thing.
Mhm.
They're still nocturnal.
So you would associate them more with the moon than the sun simply by association.
Yes.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!